Yeah, hi guys. Is there audible my voice? Is anyone confirming? Hello. Yeah. Today we are go to the conditions in the Python. Okay. So a condition is a statement in the Python that checks the whether something is true or false. Okay. So in simply a condition asks a question and the answer is either yes true or no false. Like that. Okay. Based on the answer, the program decides what to do next. So a condition is an expression that Python evaluates to the true or false. Conditions let your program decide what to do next in the control flow. So then why use the conditions? It's the branch execution. So example to do A if is something is true, otherwise to do the B. So it's validate the user inputs example in the login credentials, and also it's filter the data example in the only shows the post like to your friends like that, and also it implement the rules logic. Here is example like check the age eligibility or grading system like that. So conditions are used to the to control the flow of the program to make the decisions, and it runs the code only when the certain rule is the satisfied, and it choose between the multiple actions. So as usually conditions are formed using. Second, I will share the screen. So as usually conditions are formed using the three operators like comparison operator, and next one is the like membership operators and logical operators. Okay. Second. So here in comparison operators like this one, first one is this is equals to, and next one not equals to. And then next greater, sorry, here greater than or less than or uh, greater than or equals to and less than or equals to. These are the comparison operators. And then next logical operators, here we can logical operators are is there three. that means and or and not. So here and it must be both true. So here both must be true. Then next one is or. Here at least one must be the true. So here at least one must be true. So the next not, it's the reverse the results, like what we came the output here. So that result will be reverse. Okay, like so reverses the result. Okay, then next we can take membership operators. In membership operators have to in and not in, like in and not in. Okay, these are all the to check the if value exists in the sequence or not. So to check the if a value is exist or not. Okay, these are the comparison. These are the three operators in conditions as usual the formed. Okay, then next in Python conditions are there are four types of conditions is there. So first the first one is the simple if, and then next one is if else, and then next one if else, and then last one is nested if. So here see if means here it runs the code only if the condition is true. So it runs the code only if condition is the true. Okay. So then if next if else. So it choose between the only two options. So it's choose between two options. Then next if really fails, so it's just choose between the multiple options. Choose between the multiple options. Then next nested if. So nested if it condition is inside the another condition. Uh, if condition inside another condition. Okay, so first we can discuss about the simple if condition, this one. Okay, so in this if condition is a statement that asks a yes or no question, a test. If the test is true, the Python runs the indentation block that follows the if. Okay, if it is false, Python skips that block and continues the simplest way to make the decision in the your program. Like here we can write the syntax in Python. Take if file. So here we can write the syntax. Syntax means is if condition. Here the block of code, one or more indented. Okay. So this is the condition. So here condition it is any expression that evaluates to the true or false. So or it's truly is for see the below in this. Okay, if the here the colon is required and the block after if must be indentation four spaces like here. It's the compulsory. Okay. So here it condition it evaluates the expression if the result is true, the executes the every statement inside the if block. If the result will be the false, it skips the if block entirely and continue the existing the code after the if block. Okay. So it means the value is treated as a true or false. So here we can write the simple one example. We can take the one variable name x equals to 5 like here I write the condition if x is greater than 0 will print the x is positive print x is positive. Okay, so here x is greater than 0 means we can take the here variable name and assign the 5 value. So 5 is greater than 0, so it's the true. So because it's true it runs the print x is the positive. So program continues the after the if block. So then now we run the program will came the output x is positive like here. Okay, so then next one program will take and here we can use the user input even check the this is the even number or odd number like that. Okay, then here we can take the number n equals to we in input field we have default string, so I converted the integer means int of input of here enter a number. So if here take the variable name n, so that n is divided by the 2, it's the even number. It's the even number. So here I enter the like example 8. Here we can uh, n divided by 2 means 8 divided by 2, because of here we can take the variable name n. So it's the print even number. So user enters the suppose if here 7, it is the skip the nothing prints the if else. Okay, like we run the program and here we enter the 8 will came the output even number. If suppose run again and here we enter the 7, it skips the if because of here 7 divided by 2 is the false, so it skips. Okay, then we can go to the next one if else. So here if else it's the program choose exactly one of two paths. If the condition is true, the if blocks will be runs, otherwise the else block will be runs. It is used when you need a binary decision yes no or fail or allow denied like that. Okay, so here we can show the syntax if else. uh, if else and here we write the if condition firstly, if condition, and here we write the Statements to run when condition is the like true. Then next we can take the else. Here we can, this is the syntax. Okay. So here the condition is any expression that evaluates the true or false. The colon is required. You show the already in simple if. So the else must be aligned within the if same indentation level here. So the here the evaluate the condition. If the result is true, the execute of the whole if block. So if skips this else the block and continue the after it. So if the result here result will be the false, it skips the if block and executes the else block, continue the code after the else block here this one. Okay, here we can write the simple example. Uh, so here we can take the variable name is equals to like 17. So here we check the conditions. If age is greater than or equals to 18, uh, you can print the, you can vote. Okay. Then we else you cannot print yet. So if here we run the run program, it will change the indentation error. Like here syntax error is expected. So you can compulsory here put the indentation like here. Okay. So here first we take the age variable and to assign the value is 17, and we check here check the 17 is greater than or 18 or false. So it's the false. So here print the we can vote, and this else execute block will you cannot the vote. Okay. If suppose here we can take the age is the 20, so step one is the here is the true, so it prints the we can vote and skips the else function. So now we can run the program. Okay, you cannot print. So suppose, so here we can take the suppose like 20. So here if the 20 is greater than or equals to 18 is the true, so you can print the, here we can claim the result, we can vote if, so this is the true, so then next else condition will be the skip, then run the again program, so you can vote. Then next you can here we write the another program to the uh, user input, like here we can take the variable name password. Password is we can ask for the user input, so we can take the input field, enter a password. So then now we will check the if password password is equals to, here we can use the single equal. It's the means to assign the value. If you use the double equals to, here we checks the equals or not equal. Okay. So here if password double equals to like Badrinath, if this is true, we can print the access granted. Otherwise, else invalid credentials are access denied. Else print access denied. So if here we run the okay, if this here user will the types Badrinath, it's true access granted, and any other input will be the here enter, it goes the else block statement access denied. Okay, then now run the program, ask for H. So this is the access granted. Okay, so this is the if else. Then next one is uh, if else here. Okay, so if else it's choose between the multiple options syntax theory, like, and it is the program test several conditions in order and run the first block whose the condition is true. So here we use the it when you have more than two manually exclusive, example grading system like category selection, like that one. Okay, so uh, Python, it checks the conditions top to down, and it stops the first to true branch later if else block is are not evaluated the after the match. Okay, so here we can read the firstly we can read the syntax, like what is if elif else, right? If elif else. Okay, here we can write the syntax. First we can take the if and here take the condition one. Then here it runs the when this is true, when the condition one is true. So elif, here we can take the condition two, and this is it runs the when the condition one is false and condition two is the true. So here it runs the when the condition one is false and condition 2 is true. Okay, then next we can take the another elif condition and elif condition 3, and here also when it runs the when earlier conditions are false and condition 3 is true. So here also it runs the when the earlier conditions are false and also the condition 3 is true. Okay, so then last we will run the else block. So this will be it runs the when the all above conditions all the false. It runs the when all above conditions are false. So elif and else are optionally. You can have just if elif or elif else on the. So there can be any number of elif blocks inside the if. Okay. So here we can take first we write the if condition and condition one. If the condition one is true, it runs the block and skip every elif and else blocks and continue the whole structure. Okay. If the condition one is false, it checks the condition two. Here the first elif and the condition and repeats the it run the code of the first elif that is true and skip the remaining ones. And if none are the true or in the else block, so it runs the else block. If no one is else, we continue the without running anything. So here we can write the first some example. So first I think okay, here we can show the grading system like a grade, b grade, like that one. Okay, firstly we can store the one variable name, and in this variable name to store the marks like 78. Mm, if here check the score will greater than or equals to 90 first. Okay, so here if this is true, here grade is a grade. Okay, so then next here we'll check the if elif condition. Here check the elif condition. Elif the score will be the greater than or equals to 75. It's the grade is B. And then next once again we can take the elif condition. Here elif score is greater than or equals to like 60. So then now grade is the C grade. Okay, otherwise we can here take the else block. Else block here grade is the, we can take the file like f. Okay, so then now which grade will take the here print grade. So here we miss the indentation. Okay, so then now run the program will came the output. So first we can take the score variable name and here assign the score is the 78. So it checks the first if score is 78 is greater than or equals to 90, so it's the false to, so it skips the next condition. So then check the here 78 is greater than or equals to 75, so it's the true, so we can run the grade b and skip the remaining elif and else blocks. So output print will be b, like here. So here order matters. If you put the elif score greater than or equals to 75 before if score greater than or equals to 90, a score 95 would not match the 75. So then the first and incorrectly become the b. Always test scripted higher holds the first one. So here we can take the another example. In this example we can use the like strip lawyer, that type of keywords. So first we can take the variable day, and here we can ask the user input like input of enter day. Okay, we can use the strip dot lawyer. Okay, then we can check the if day in like Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Okay, so can user will input the Monday, one or two or three, Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Will print the this one is the weekday. Otherwise, here we can take the elif block if day in Saturday or Sunday. So if user will enter the Saturday or Sunday, then now print the weekend. Otherwise, here we can take the else. So else if both days are not valid, so print the unknown day. Okay. So here firstly here we ask the input field. We can take the variable name and ask the input. It shows the days to the user and waits for them to type the something or press enter. So the function returns whatever the user typed as a string, for example mon like that. Okay, here dot strip, it is called the on that string it removes the leading and the traveling white spaces like spaces, tabs or new line, whatever. So if you write the Monday or Monday space, it which takes the only Monday space will be the remove. So it in lower, it will dot lower, it converts the string to the lower case. If you enter the Monday in the capital letters, it will remove convert it to the small Monday. Like if you enter the like this, it will converts to the like this. Okay, so if day in, here it checks the in operators is checks the whether normalized day string is one of the items in the tuple. So if it is the, if block runs the print and weekday outputs. Okay, elif day in Saturday and Sunday. If the first if was false, the Python checks the another if day is Saturday or Sunday. It and it's true, it prints the weekend. So else and else will, if none of the above conditions match, the else runs the prints and print the unknown day. Okay, this handles the invalid or unrecognized the input. Okay, then now we run the program. We enter the day. Here we came the output weekday. Okay, here is the, so we discuss already. Yeah, here in means if to check the if the value is exist or not. Okay, so here in strip it is strip plus lower, it is the normalized input, and in means it's the membership in the tuple. And if elif it's else means it checks the and controls the flow of the branch runs. So then next we can go to the last condition, that is the nested if. Okay, so nested if it condition inside the another condition. So if It is just an if statement placed inside the another block, another if. So it is used when a second test only makes sense after the first test cases is passed. So here we run the, sorry, here we can write the syntax firstly. Right here, take the Python file and nested if. Okay, here we write the syntax. First we will take the if condition, condition 1, and this is the outer block. Okay, then if condition is condition 2. So here in our block will runs the if condition is true and condition 2 is true. So in this is the inner block, it runs on if it runs only if condition 1 is true, and also the condition 2 is also a true. Okay, then next we can take the else block. This is the inner else. So inner else it runs the when the condition is one, when the condition 1 is true but condition 2 is the false. Okay, so it runs the only when if condition 1 is true but condition 2 is the false. So here we inner else. Okay, inner else means it runs the only, sorry, here we can write condition 1 is true but the condition 2 is false. Okay, then here we can, okay, then we can take the outer else. So this is the outer else. It runs the if the condition 1 is the false. Okay, this is the syntax. Here we can take, here we write the if condition 1 is, if the condition 1 is false, the Python skips the entire outer block. Okay, so entire outer block will be the when we run, if the condition 1 is the false, Python skips the to enter the outer block. So it includes the inner if. So and it runs the else if it present. If the condition 1 is true, then Python enters the outer block and enters the elevates the condition true. If the condition true is false, then the now if the condition 2 is, this one is true, the Python runs the inner if block. Otherwise it runs the inner else. Okay, After finishing the inner blocks, it executes the continue the after the other step. I mean condition is true. So the inner condition is evaluated only when the outer condition is true. Okay. So now we can write this sample example. Here we can take the one variable name n number equals to 12, like so. Then we can write the if number is greater than or equals greater than 0 if it goes to the inner else. Okay. So we can write here if condition and checks the n value is the greater than or not 0, and if the number is greater than 0 if to continue the inner set. Okay. So here we can take if n is divided by the 2, this is the divided by 0, it prints the positive and even number. Okay. Otherwise if it here we can write the inner else. Okay. So here we can print the positive but odd number. Okay. Then we can write the outer else. Here we can write the 0 or negative. So here simply we can take the variable sn and that value n here to assign the 12 value. So first here we can check the outer if. So the program checks if the n is greater than 0 since 12 is greater than 0. Okay. So it is true, the code enters the outer if block. If n were 0 or negative, it would skip the inner block and go to the directly else print 0 or negative. So here after the if condition outer if condition we can enter the inner if condition too. So here the modulus operator, it gives the remainder the after the division. So here we divide the 12 divided by 2. So it means it does divided by evenly by 2. So yes, it's the remainder is 0. So it if this condition is true, here we can print the positive and even. So now we can run the program positive and even like this. Okay. So here we can take the another example. We can take variable name username equals to ask for the user manual input type and take password. Here also ask the user input field, enter password. Here first we can check the outer if condition. If the username will be equals to admin and also the password will match the equals to pass 1 2 3. Okay, so if here we can enter the correct details, here print the login successfully login. Okay, so after here check the role equals to input field. 1 second. Second here. So so here we can take the roles manager and the user. Manager and user. So if the role is match the manager, it prints the manager dashboard. Just 5 minutes, I will start the here Django project. Okay. Kucho, kucho. So here show the manager dashboard. Otherwise, else here show the user dashboard. 1 second. Sorry. So here we can take the inner else statement, inner else block. Okay. And here we can, if the manager is not equals to, so here we can print the user dashboard, like print user dashboard. So if it will be false, so it here we writes the outer else black. Okay, so print login fail, like this. So here first we will ask the user input for the username. It waits for the user to type the username, like admin or whatever it. Okay, so input password, then we here we can take the password. Here we waits for the password for the from the input, user input. So here outer condition will be the authentication. If the username admin and password is pass123, it checks the two things together, username and password. The and operator means it conditions the both conditions must be true. So here we already discuss about that one, both conditions must be true. So then next, if the and operator means it must be true. So if both match, authentication succeed, otherwise authentication fail. So here we authentication will be fail, here go to the outer else statement login fail. If authentication will be the pass, here go to print, here print the successfully login and go to the row, ask for the input field role. Okay, then next, if the login is correct, to go to the role. So here we can take the role equals to manager or user, like that. So if the user types the manager, it shows the manager dashboard. If user types the another whatever it, user or guest, it shows the user dashboard. So here if the user, here if outer if condition is false, here directly we go to the else outer else black login file. It runs the either username or password is incorrect. So now we can run the project, sorry, program. Here ask the username. So I enter the username admin and I enter the password pass123. Like here ask the role or role manager or user. So I enter the manager. So here show the show manager dashboard. Okay. So these are the topics today, Python topics, conditions, and it is as usually combined with the operators, comparison operators, logical operators, and membership operators. In comparison operators, equals to, not equals to, and greater than equal or equal, less than or equal, and logical operators and are not, and is the must and should be the true, and or is at least one must be the true, and not is it reverses the results. So then next last one is the membership operator. In membership operators, have to in and not, it checks the if the value is exist or not. So totally four conditions is there: if else, if else, and nested if. So if means, if means it runs the code if the only condition is true, and then next one, if else is it choose between the two options, and if else means it choose between the multiple options, and last one is nested if it if condition inside the another condition. Okay, is there any doubts? So is there any doubts? So I will wait the 2 minutes. If you have any doubts, please ask. Okay, guys. Bye.